As a child, Jan Brett spent hours reading and drawing, and now she's a New York Times #1 best-selling author and illustrator.
And she joins us right now in studio. So great to have her here. She's got a new book out called Snowy Nap, and this amazing bus tour that you're doing. First off, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. It's
really a treat.
Great so far with all the puppies.
So I have to know, Snowy Nap. Walk us through kind of the title and the story. And
well, it's about a hedgehog who decides he doesn't want to hibernate for winter time. He wants to see icicles and pond ice and snow and blue time, you know, when the sun sets and everything is blue with the snow. And sleigh rides, and snowmen, you know, all the things that you have here, and we have in Boston in the winter. So he stays up, but he gets a little bit too cold. It's way too cold for him. And he's rescued by a little girl. It's set in Denmark. We don't have hedgehogs in the U.S., but he gets rescued and propped up in the window, and he sees winter from a warm, cozy house.
Oh.
I love it.
And it's kind of a bedtime story because he does get sleepy. It's my first bedtime story. I usually, my characters are up and running. Well, he's up and running, but then he gets sleepy. He goes
Had parents requested that you have maybe a sleepy nap time story?
You know, they don't. I think what they request is a book that children will like. And if I know that the children have their pointer finger out and they're looking at all the details, I've done my job. But I've always wanted to be a children's book illustrator. Since I was in kindergarten, I would have said, children's book illustrator, when the teacher said, what do you want to be when you grow up? Now that it's my job, I get to color all day.
Yeah, that's not really a job
That's
then.
amazing.
It's not really a job. And then this is the frosting on the cake, because it's very isolated, being by myself all day. It takes an hour to do an inch. So now I'm able to meet all these children, and you wouldn't believe the drawings they bring to show me. They're better than mine. I tell them that, and they go, no, they're not. I go, yeah, they are. They have more pizzazz.
And so you love these book tours. You mentioned this is not your first time even in Fargo, North Dakota.
We go on this bus tour every year, right after Thanksgiving. Sometimes the southern route across the United States, sometimes north, and sometimes a round robin we'll do.
Okay, so we didn't get to go in the bus. We just looked at it from the
bus is
outside.
really cool.
Tell us a little bit about your ride and how nice it is.
Well, you really want to know, I am knitting a scarf out of musk ox fiber, because that's going to be a future book. It's about a musk ox. So we went to Alaska and saw the musk ox farm. I've got all my reading materials back there. The whole back is a bedroom. We brought our own blankets and stuff, so it looks really homey. And then I have all the good food for me to eat. You know, things that keep you fit, like chocolate.
Well, I love that. You know, one of the things I would love to know from you is I love meeting artists, because everyone's got kind of a different creative process.
Isn't that true?
So what's yours? I mean, would you get like an image that comes to you, or how do you?
You know, I'm a runner, so I get an idea, and a lot of times when I'm running, I work on it. So then it's ready to make into a story. Then it goes to my editor, and she goes, no. Or she says yes.
She usually says yes.
She said yes on the musk ox.
So what's interesting, you said while you're running, so do you get images that
well,
is that how
also
you work on it?
listening
What do
to
you mean?
music. My husband's in the Boston Symphony. This is what I'll be telling the children, because I have a chance to speak to them and give them a little art lesson, because it's all about them. It's about the future, right? So I will tell them about how important their creativity is and how unique that you are, which you immediately picked up on. Everybody is so different. Why not let them, you know, unfold and show their wonderful artwork? So I just encourage them.
Did you always have a knack to be creative? I mean, some people can be creative, but like that inner voice, like, oh, that's not good, or that doesn't look right, or should you always have that kind of just inner knowing?
You know, I always wanted to be a children's book illustrator. I think I always had a running narrative. Here she goes running down the street. She's almost ready for the Olympics now. You know how when you're a little kid you make up these stories? And I would have to say I have two sisters, and they never believe a word I say.
That's sisters for you.
They always roll their eyes.
I do want to ask, where can people stop and see you, though, then today? Where does the book tour stop?
I am going to be in Grand Forks, and we are at a mall, at a bookstore there. And then we go on to South Dakota and Wyoming, and then off to the Northwest.
And how do we buy your
book? So it's on my website, though. If you go, everything is for free on it. And if you just Google Jan Brett, it has a detailed of all the times and what bookstore, and then I sign copies. But I love doing this talk because it's something for them. you know, something that no one else can tell them.
We'll make sure we get all of that information on our North Dakota
you're
Today
very
website
nice.
and Facebook page. Thank you so
you.
much
Yeah,
for
thanks for being
bringing
here.
the tour of us here and sharing your story.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back.